The universe's biggest questions require the universe's biggest brains. This is Don. This is Tom. This is Big Brain.
Welcome to Big Brain. You'll be pleased to know you can now find these intellectual conversations on all of the podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and everywhere else, for when you're on those long drives and need some stimulation. Think of it as Roadhead for your mind. If your mother and girlfriend had to switch bodies, and the only cure was to fornicate with one of them to switch it back, who would you choose and why? This may seem like a silly question, but let me tell you, it's not.
Are we discounting the possibility of a door 3 where you just don't choose either of them?
You have to sleep with one of them.
If you absolutely have to.
Mm-hmm.
So the wizard is holding a gun to your head.
Yes.
And making... Okay.
Damn you, wizard.
So you fuck your mom, but it's...
Wait.
But
wait. What does that mean? We gotta be clear.
You fuck your mom's body with your girlfriend's soul. You are permanently stuck with the memory of the sights and feels of that scenario.
Like a nice trip abroad.
Or alternatively, your mother is permanently stuck with the memory of your sights and feels. There probably needs to be some degree of finagling with memory, either through drugs or brain surgery.
Are you saying you roofie your mum girlfriend or your girlfriend mum and yourself? And what happens?
No, maybe you inwardly decide, I'm not gonna make my mind up who I'm roofing until after I roofie myself, because then I'll forget which one I chose.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
But what if you roofie yourself and then don't roofie either of them?
Well,
because you're too fucking roofie.
The wizard has a gun to your head. You can't just run away like I want.
Well, no, you can't run away. You have to choose, but that's the problem with roofing yourself first, is you might not fulfill your quest. You might have whiskey dick. Is roofie dick a thing? You see what I'm saying?
And then it's a risk. Okay, what if you sort of had a glory hole, a very thin glory hole that normal intercourse could be conducted through?
You mean like those Orthodox Jewish people who have the sheet?
You're hanging a sheet.
There's like a sheet. I guess that's a little smart way of getting around this a bit. You hang a sheet.
But then what are you getting around?
And you poke your...
So now you're fucking your mom's vagina.
If all you see through this little hole is kind of like, this.
Yeah.
It's probably a bit easier.
Yeah, and then you just imagine.
Oh, God. You would use your imagination. You would know behind that wall is like a gross old lady. Sorry, Mum.
But you know it's your girlfriend's soul. So.
What are you, gay?
It's her. Well,
it's her soul, and I love that.
Okay, it is her.
Are you fucking her soul?
No, it is her experience and her memory retention. The important thing is you're only ever fucking your girlfriend. You're not fucking your mom. In terms of experientially and memory retention wise, and then you negate to the greatest extent that you can the visual experience with the sheet.
And besides, what even is fucking? It's just like, is one thrust fucking?
Okay, so you're right. Let's back up. So, I think that the master definition of what fucking is can be philosophically found in what it is to be a virgin or not a virgin. So, are you still a virgin if you soak in a girl's vagina but then don't do anything? Probably, right?
No, you're not a virgin. For me, once you cross the threshold, the spell is broken and you're no longer a virgin. Like, as soon as you get in, that's it.
So you don't have to blast?
No, I don't think so. I didn't blast my first time.
Okay. So you're at a party and you get pulled into a bathroom or something and you just stick your dick in them and don't move because you don't know what the fuck to do. And then they think you're, what is wrong with this guy? She pushes you off and leaves the bathroom, and you come out with a shit-eating grin on your smile. I'm not a virgin anymore. I think most people would agree, no, you didn't have sex.
What about most people? What is the definition of sex? Okay, so sex is defined as penetration of a man's penis into a vagina, which does raise an interesting point that lesbians can't have sex, but that is for another day. For this day, the point is that penetration of a penis into a vagina is sex, no matter if it's like one thrust or not. For instance, if you just ejaculate really quickly, and I don't know anyone like that, if you just did one shot in and you just...
I think, yeah, that counts.
That's sex, right?
Yeah, that counts.
So just because the person didn't ejaculate, maybe they're scared. Right? It still counts just because they didn't blast.
Right.
But to my point, you wouldn't say I didn't have sex just because I didn't bust, would you?
That's true. But you gave it a
college try.
A college try, right?
Yeah,
so
but imagine this guy gave it a
count?
college try and then... Because now you're talking about intent.
Okay, I am the vengeful wizard watching this play out. And you've wasted my time. You've wasted an hour and a half of my time setting up this sheet with a hole in it, and then you drop your pants and you shuffle forward with your half stick, and then you penetrate once, and then you back up and say done.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
You turn to me and ask me to switch them back now. It's like, I did it.
There's plenty of scenarios where a wizard sets a spell and it goes off in a way he didn't want it to, right? So he's not necessarily in charge
You're
of...
outsmarting.
Yeah, you can outsmart the wizard and like break the seal and...
Okay.
So I think you do a little fucking quick dip. You dip and dip. Spell is broken, transfer back. You just like... Even if you don't have access to roofies, you can still knock someone out. So you club your girlfriend over the back of the head.
As which body,
So your girlfriend body.
Okay.
She's fucking... She's like this. You do one quick dip, and you're already raging hard because you just donkey punched your girlfriend. One quick dip, the spell is broken, she doesn't remember a thing, hopefully she wakes up. Curse is broken, big brain. Okay, here's the problem. Does your mum collapse as soon as the brain re-enters her body? Because the brain might still be concussed.
Should probably be alright though.
What if she's walking on a pavement and fucking smashes her head and dies?
He says you don't have the other body accounted for, you know? Like
what the other one's watching?
Well, what the fuck are they doing? It's like, it's your okay, your girlfriend is in your mom's body. She just goes and gets a coffee.
There's two
Starbucks.
doors in front of you. That's how you do it. There's two doors in front of you.
Okay.
And you get to pick the door and go and do the deed.
Right, and they're just in there waiting to see if they get fucked by Tom.
Yeah. One of them's waiting for the slow knock. The rattle of the door handle.
Sorry.
Are you decent?
I've thought about it for quite a while.
I've thought about it for quite some time. You're going to want to look away. And then you pay attention, and just as they seem to be coming to, that's when you quickly...
No, but you don't have to worry about it, because the other one, you know, she's, you know, in that other room.
But she could be...
bed, presumably.
Maybe. What if she's like sitting on the edge of the bed, and then she'll... Did you say stirrups?
Yeah, just
like this. Are you really gonna have your like girlfriend or mum's ankles on your shoulder and you're looking her dead in the eyes
just
as you wind back? I couldn't do it.
No, I think
you don't want to see the innocence. You don't want to see the light fall from their eyes.
I think you stand your girlfriend with your mom's soul in it up in front of you and say, "Mom, I love you." And then with your trained boxing speed,
"Mom, I really love you."
With your trained boxing speed, you just punch him in the off button.
No one's gonna. Okay, not everyone's gonna be a boxer, Don. That's the thing. If you punch him in the face and it doesn't knock him out,
just punch him again.
just get.
Listen, you're just trying
to top control and just start raining elbows.
You're trying to be a good man and a hero here and get all three of you out of this situation.
Okay.
Everyone has to make sacrifices.
This is all a personal preference anyway. The point is you knock one of them out. Doesn't matter if it's at the back or the front. You're not
As
gonna kill them,
delicately
but
as possible.
You bludgeon them as delicately as humanly possible. One dip, because that's technically sex. They switch back. You know, they've got a headache, but all in all, you kind of solve the problem with the least amount of damage. Yeah?
I agree. Big brain.
Big brain. Is it woke to use a bidet? For those of our audience who do not know what a bidet is, it is a piece of toilet equipment that is used to jettison water at your asshole as a method of cleaning it from excrement. Feels a bit woke, doesn't it?
Well, let's begin by defining.
What is woke?
Yeah, I think it's originally meant to be about identity politics, but it seems to be expanded and conflated to effectively just mean you're on the far left politically.
Is it woke to want to have a clean butthole? No. Because the most conservative still wipes their butt.
Yeah, if anything, conservatism is largely about conscientiousness. So if they were
What does that mean?
just, orderliness, leading an orderly existence, yeah, no messes, everything is clean and tidy, which you'd assume would include your buttholes. So in a way, a bidet as a more thorough way of cleaning your butthole than toilet paper is more conservative than liberal, classically speaking.
Is it woke to enjoy the feel of your butthole being tickled?
Now we're getting somewhere.
Because inevitably your butthole will be tickled by the water, and I imagine it probably does feel nice.
Well, you have to pin down the origin of the niceness feeling,
Well, it's nice because of the nerve endings.
Yeah, but
Is it woke to eat arse? Absolutely, everyone knows that. And part of that is the stimulation of the endings in your anus. So if you're enjoying that little tickle, by logic, there's a chance for wokeness.
okay, why is it woke to eat ass? Because I agree with you, but we need to define it in clear terms. So
Because it's part of the progressive worldview of breaking sexual and gendered boundaries.
yeah, so it kind of
Or like
it lives squarely in
Being a
this
filthy, horrible person.
celebrated, degenerate gray area.
Yeah, celebrating degeneracy,
Okay.
which is definitely, it's super degenerate to eat arse. Everyone knows that.
Right, okay, and surely someone that likes getting their ass eaten would love a bidet.
Yeah.
Right.
So the conservative says, though it may feel great to have my arse eaten, not everything that feels great should be celebrated and permissible. Otherwise, conservative areas would have an opioid problem, which we know is not true. So, ergo, the butthole tickle would be a part of a progressive outlook if you enjoyed it.
But as a conservative, you can also enjoy things that feel good if they also have a utilitarian purpose, which I think is still in line with the conscientiousness,
As a broad spectrum, not in this specific case, what is a utilitarian purpose?
What are you driving at? What are we trying to define?
Well, I'm trying to figure out if eating arse could be utilitarian. And if it is utilitarian because it has like a...
Yeah, perhaps it's efficient because you might get to an orgasm faster. You're just wasting all this time fucking your wife trying to get off.
Well,
Or
yeah,
if,
but
if
then...
only she would eat your asshole, then you'd be...
Yeah,
good to go.
but the point of sex in a conservative worldview is not pleasure. Everyone knows that. It's about making more children, as God intended.
And God definitely didn't intend for you to eat ass.
No. Sodom and Gomorrah? Anyone?
It's true.
Hello? So, we can say that eating arse, this will all come back to the bidet, just bear with me. Eating arse is against God, which is a conservative position, and the reason that you would eat arse is for the pleasure of the tickle on your butthole, which a bidet also provides. So a conservative, if they took 1 ounce of enjoyment from the tickle of their butthole, would be engaging potentially in a progressive act. Correct?
Because it's against God, therefore it's a progressive act.
Yeah, that's true. Anything against God is a progressive act.
That's true.
By its very nature.
Yeah.
So, let's add a dimension to this. I do happen to know the highest use of bidets on a state basis is Florida, Arkansas, and Alabama,
Fascinating.
which are all red states, right?
Yeah.
A lot of red states also have the highest searches for gay porn. Does that mean there's more gay people in red states? I don't think so. I think that because being gay is so frowned upon in red states. In red states,
They
being
just go
gay is
hog
frowned
wild with the porn.
upon. People get they don't have that outlet,
Yeah.
so they go hard. They're like constantly looking for fucking gay porn.
Right.
And so they drive the numbers up. So there's probably just a bunch of people who know they shouldn't have a bidet, but they've snuck one into their house and they're just constantly riding it.
Yeah. It's those same 6 gay guys that are each buying 40 bidets.
Because they wear them out.
Yeah, they go through them, right?
But not gay, progressive. They're just really progressive. And they have to have their bidet, which if anything is more evidence that using a bidet is woke.
I'm a little lost, I must confess.
Well, we can't all be so smart. It's all based on the butthole tickle pleasure factor.
I don't use a bidet for the pleasure, though.
Aha! We have encountered bias. Now I know why you're defending it so ardently. You use a bidet. Who did you vote for?
To disqualify my arguments, because I myself am a bidet user, is following the logical fallacy ad hominem, whereas you attack the origin of someone's ideas versus the ideas themselves. So because you can't invalidate the truth of my claims about bidets just because I myself enjoy bidets. It says nothing about the truthfulness or logic of the actual arguments themselves.
Okay, why is it not woke? You tell me why it's not woke.
Well, it seems like the only semi-logically coherent connection to wokeness is because it is useful.
It's degenerate because it might give you sexual pleasure on your butthole, which God didn't intend.
Yeah.
As was laid out in the Bible by Sodom and Gomorrah.
And everything that's degenerate is progressive.
Yes.
So,
by definition.
But we've negated that because most people don't buy bidets, certainly, for that purpose.
Well, we've already discovered that conservatives aren't using it, and liberals are. And probably progressives are using it even more than regular liberals. Would you think so?
Yes.
So why?
I think that progressives probably tend to be more hardcore on climate change issues, even though climate change itself isn't specifically a woke thing. You're going to have more Venn diagram overlap with progressives and taking climate change seriously. Wokeism is more about social justice. I mean, although I think the most coherent argument that environmentalism has to do with social justice is because of people would argue, the disproportionate effect on minorities global warming will have. So disasters affecting impoverished areas and et cetera. And therefore, global warming becomes a progressive identity politics problem.
If you use a bidet to save a black person's life, that is woke.
That would be woke, yeah. If you got on Amazon and were like, I'm gonna save a black guy's life today, and fuck this toilet, this fascist toilet paper, I'm gonna buy a bidet and save the black people.
In a roundabout way, if it's about environmentalism specifically, and the environmentalism has to be connected with intersectionality politics like racial, social justice kind of stuff.
Which you can sort of do.
So a bidet could be woke.
Could be, but
We step ever forward to the conclusion.
I would still argue I personally didn't, and I don't know how many people buy a bidet because they're conscious of how much toilet paper they're going through.
So you didn't buy it to save minorities?
No, I bought
So
it.
you don't care about minorities?
I hate minorities. I hate them.
Maybe I misjudged you. Okay, so the reasons. A bidet by itself is not woke because you could be buying it for non-woke reasons. Just
Yeah.
for the one final passing this out, are there any things that, no matter your reason for doing it or buying it, it's woke? A BLM t-shirt, right? You could buy that satirically. You could think it's really funny to walk around in a BLM t-shirt for some reason. That is the wokest item you could possibly buy, but you could still do it without woke intentions. But are BLM t-shirts woke?
Yes, that's a good point. For sure.
Even if you buy it satirically, it's still a woke item.
It's a woke item. However, I think we call it a woke item because no matter what, 99% of use cases and purchases will be for woke reasons, which I don't think you can say about bidets.
So it's about the amount. It's really a percentage of the reasons people are buying it for. Kind of, it's like Theseus's ship, in a way. You know, the properties of it can change based on your view of it.
Yeah, well, because humans give anything its value properties. Because
So what's the
otherwise
threshold?
it's just cotton and vinyl screen print. Or whatever.
Yeah, so there's a lot to do with people's literal view of the object.
Yes.
Subjective view.
And I don't think anyone has ever thought of a bidet as woke.
But that doesn't mean it won't always be that way.
Because
it could
someday
become woke.
someone might fly that banner and make it
And make
woke.
enough. And
Yeah.
how much support? What, like, would you say like 50%? 80?
Yeah, I feel like it has to be clear of 80.
When 80% of people buy and use bidets to save the black community, bidets will be woke. But until that day, they are not inherently woke, even if they do make your butthole feel good.
Big brain.
Big brain.
For this second section of Big Brain, we reach out to our patrons who, of course, we care more about than the general audience to solve their life advice queries submitted via Patreon.
Hi Tom and Don, my name is Volp Dixon, and I'm dating a chick who's down to do literally anything I want sexually, but she's so freaking annoying all the time, it takes all the enjoyment out of it. What should I do?
Listen here, you little shit. You hang on to that angel. You fool. You fool, you hang on to her. And you squeeze her for all the juice she's worth. And then once you have the ultimate of post-nut clarities, you make your decision.
Yeah, I think generally there's solutions to someone you're with being annoying as well.
I suppose he is saying that her annoyance is ruining his sexual attraction to the fact she will do anything.
Well, that sounds like a willpower problem.
Yeah, just strain harder.
I don't know. I think that the sexual deviancy doesn't go away if the annoying personality is corrected through couples therapy or other kinds of therapy. So you could probably have your cake and eat it too. You just have to be willing to get creative and spend some money.
How much is couples therapy?
It's probably a lot.
Is it worth? Okay.
I think you give it a shot because it sounds like you can have the world, you know?
Well, maybe. I mean, some people's
Sure.
personalities could just be so unfixable and untenable.
Sure.
There is like, even the best version of them is like just intolerable.
There's multiple mental disorders and personality disorders and so on that shade with sexual promiscuity, and they have statistical outcomes already quantified. So if you can figure out what's wrong with her and why she's annoying...
Jesus, you've got to get a medical degree. Is this girl worth going to medical school for 8 years? Are you prepared to do residency just because this girl will let you fuck her in the ass and punch her in the back of the head? There's really the question you got to ask yourself here, bro.
Well, I think our patron has a lot to think about.
So the answer to the question is either psychological terrorism or let it go. There will be a girl out there who will do 90% of what you want and be tolerable. Life's short, maybe let's not waste time.
Great.
Hey Tom and Don, my name's Belva, and my question is, what are the 3 steps to getting laid?
Step 1. Enroll in a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class for at least a year. Step 2. Develop explosive sprinter speed. Step 3. Identify and execute. Big brain. Wow. What a debate, what a discussion. I feel my brain pulsating with the knowledge and answers we discovered here today. I do hope you will look at our Patreon and perhaps offer your own questions, for we hunger for knowledge. I don't know. Check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you like to. Goodbye now. Toodles.
All questions for this program were submitted by our patrons. If you're in dire need to have your question answered by Tom and Don in the next episode, sign up now and submit your question today. Link in the description.